for the best real estate advice in Windsor, Essex. It's the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show, a paid program on AM800. Back to the show with your host and broker-owner of the Dan Gemus Real Estate Team.
Welcome back to the show. It's time for our featured Business of the Week segment. It's brought to you by Duby's Home Center, located at 269 Ramsey Street in Amherstburg. Duby's is Windsor and Essex County's flooring, paint, and window covering store. Now open 7 days a week. And now selling Benjamin Moore paint. Learn more at dubys.ca or call the store at 519-736-4021. They'll do your quotes, your flooring, your paint, your window coverings right in the house there. Okay, so our guest today, our featured Business of the Week guest, is Joe Babiuk, the owner of Paint Co. Painting. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How's it going, Dan?
Very good. Good to have you with us this morning. So painters, they're a hot commodity these days.
Very high demand.
Everybody wants them.
Never realized it until I got into real estate and meet people all the time who need paint, and I don't know a single painter. I know people who think they're painters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not usually good. But then comes along Joe. And so Joe you're newer to the business.
That's right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just been doing it just over a year now.
And the reason that we found Joe is because he had clients that were using Duby's Home Center, and everybody was raving about him. And so next thing you know, Duby starts sending clients over to Joe, and everybody is raving about Joe.
Wow.
And so here is Joe. So tell us about your business, how you got started, and everything.
Got started, I'm going to say it was about April 2015 with a friend of mine. He had been painting for just over 4 years, and he was taught by sort of an older Croatian gentleman that been doing it 25 years, and he was a real perfectionist, just really, really high expectation. So, he learned how to do things properly and the hard way, the right way. And two of us, good friends, kind of got together, and, I brought more of sort of the business aspect to things, and Matt taught me how to paint, and, we just started to kind of take off, but, eventually we kind of went different directions, and that was a little nerve-wracking, but in that short period, I learned so much, and then just kind of started doing my own thing, and things have just been taking off.
So you've got a team with you. You've got a couple guys on your team. Tell us about them.
My right-hand man is my brother. He's actually my stepbrother.
Yep.
But we've known each other since we were kids, and he's, I got to say, aside from my wife, he's pretty much my best friend. We've always got along. We just have a connection, a relationship. It's there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah.
And he's always just kind of when we were younger, he almost kind of looked up to me, and so he's always sort of taken my lead on things, and so he's really excited, just taking the lead and working really hard. He's quite the worker.
So I know, and like I was saying at the beginning of the show, every time you've done a project for a client of the Dan Gemus team or of Duby's, everyone calls and raves about the work. So I personally hired Joe myself a few weeks back to do our master bedroom and our master bath. And yes, we can vouch for him. He does amazing work. In fact, Shawn, we get into the house and I said, Joe, he's like, what? I said, tell me you use tape. He says, no. I said, how do you do that? That's an art.
It is.
I sure can't do it.
You do a steady hand.
I can't do it.
Well,
it looks atrocious when I do it.
I just told Dan, you just do it every day, and eventually get good at it.
So that explains why when I paint a room, it takes me 4 days just to prep.
And then you still have to call a painter.
Yeah, you still have to call a painter. So what kind of jobs and work are you guys taking on, Joe? What if someone wants to hire a painter? What kind of work will you do?
Well, we do interiors and exteriors. So I've done like Tudor style exterior. We gotta remove old caulking, apply the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We stain decks. My favorite is the interiors. We just everything except for wallpaper. We don't do wallpaper, but trim doors, ceilings, walls, things like that. Priming over old plaster or stucco ceilings. We also we're into power washing. Coming into the spring, I'm gonna be buying like a 20-foot extension wand so that I can get 2-3 story buildings really high up. So I'm gonna try to focus. I'm thinking about maybe having one of my employees doing the majority of just power washing, and then try to kind of advertise for that, amp that up a bit.
Like we were saying before, there are lots of people who claim to be painters who really are not. What sets you aside from the competition, from everybody else?
Well, just I think one of the biggest things is knowing what you're doing and caring about what you're doing, caring for the customer. Anybody can just get in there and say, "Oh yeah," and just slap some paint on there, and there's lots of people that'll do it. But not only is it just the level of skill, but also knowing what you're putting the paint on and what kind of paint is going on top of that.
Yeah.
It's always about the substrate that the paint is going onto, whatever properties that has, is going to determine how long the paint is going to last.
Sure.
So little things like that.
So going into a project, what can a homeowner do to help you prep and get ready? I'm assuming moving furniture out of the way would probably be a big one.
Absolutely. Generally, all I usually ask is just to move furniture into the center of the room. Everything else we can take care of. We take the face plates off. We usually don't put them back on unless it's a really big job, just because it's really important if you ever plan on changing the face plates down the road. You give the paint a little time to cure. Paint generally takes about 30 days, interior paint at least, 30 days to fully cure.
Whoops.
I'll bet you nobody knows
Back on the next day.
So a lot of people what they'll do is they'll paint a room and then they'll put their plates back on and take their tape down and put everything back. And then you go to change the plates and they're stuck to the wall. You got to use a screwdriver to pry them off, which is what I encounter a lot of times.
Yeah. The trick, okay, this is if someone is doing it themselves, like I have in the past, before I found you, Joe, when do you, if you're using tape, okay, at your corners, when do you take it off? Right after you're done painting? Because in my experience, I've left it on. The paint has dried, and you peel the paint off as you're pulling the tape off. Yeah.
Well, first off, I would highly recommend using a special type of tape. Frog tape
Sure.
is one that I use. There's another tape that you can get at a professional paint store. It's yellow, or you can get the blue stuff. And so that tape is really good. It doesn't have as much adhesive, I don't think, and it also repels the paint away.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll use tape and the paint will literally sneak underneath.
Yes.
And then you get these little lines. That's never a good thing. So if you are going to use tape, I only use tape I'd say probably twice a year. I end up using it because it's in a situation where you have to. And when I do, I try not to even push the whole tape down, just where it's meeting the wall, just a little bit there. And then you want to take that down as soon as possible. Pretty much, if the paint that you just painted on is no longer tacky, give it about an hour maybe, and if it's kind of dry to the touch, then you want to take that paint down right away, because you'll definitely run into problems like that.
Duly noted. Okay, Joe, if somebody wants a quote, if they want you to come out there and have a look, how do they best reach you? Where can they find information about you?
Well, best thing is you can give me a call at 519-980-0480. I also have a website, so you can check us out at paintcopainting.com. That's paintcopainting.com. So a lot of information there. I've got to make some changes there, but you can find information on our product services, our pricing. I've got some of my pricing up there, which a lot of other painters don't do. I'm pretty open about it.
Yep.
And you can also reach me at email at paint.co@outlook.com. And, I'm usually pretty good at responding right away and getting out there at yours and my earliest convenience.
Fantastic, Joe. Fantastic work as always, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach Joe, and we'll put his information on our website as well. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Lots more to come. When we come back, we're going to talk with John Michelli, the CAO of the town of Amherstburg, about the recent announcement of Duffy's, the purchase of Duffy's Tavern and Restaurant out Amherstburg Way. Okay, lots more to come right after this on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.